All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. I feel at home. I got a guest with me, and I'm going to explain why I feel at home. Maybe the listeners might know, but I'm back in the shop. We've taken some twists and turns, and we've been all over the place. I was kind of telling you before they flipped on the cameras and stuff. So we were at a different office. We were downtown. We're back here. I don't have my purple couch. I normally have the purple couch. It's coming back, but we have a gold couch. We're back in the house. It feels good. I got a special guest with me, Renard Thomas. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.
No problem, man. I'm glad to be here, man.
Dude, I'm so fired up to dive into some combo with you because, like I was telling you earlier, man, I feel like our circles, like we have so many of the same people in the same circle. And I feel like every person I know works out at your gym or has worked out at your gym or done some content there. So I'm excited to learn about your story, man, and how you've educated yourself. And but yeah, I'm excited for this conversation. It's been a long time coming. But why don't you give our listeners a 1 minute, 2 minute recap, who you are, what you do, that kind of stuff.
All right, let's dive into it. So I am Nard. I'm owner and founder of NardFit, which I have NardFit Studio and NardFit Elite. And NardFit Elite is a 24-hour gym facility that's downtown Baton Rouge, and you're able to work out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have everything from lockers to showers, private parking, and it's just a real comfortable space. It's not crowded, never gets crowded. And I also have NardFit Studio, which is in Mid-City, and that's more of a personal training facility.
So it's nice. I didn't know you had two spots.
Yeah, it's more like open area functional training where you have more of like your big tires that you're able to flip, your sleds, and it's like artificial turf and rubber on the inside of there. Yep. And the downtown one is $1.2 million in just equipment. So we have top tier equipment, top tier facility, to where honestly the women love it, like the ladies love it. That's why it's a comfortable space for the ladies. So it's like at least 95% women clientele over there.
Well, that's what I've seen. A lot of the marketing, that's why I'm like, dude, it's really impressive. And that's why, I mean, it makes more sense now that there's two spots, and I saw both of them on social, so I guess that makes a lot more sense. But the thing that I like, you said, is you kind of give people what they're looking for, whether you want the big box experience and go put your headphones in and just go do things on your own whenever you want, or if you want to get the personal training, functional movement, that kind of stuff too. So that's cool. Yeah.
So they have different options where, the downtown one, they're able to get the 24-hour experience where you could go whenever you want to, whenever you need to, go ahead and get your workout in. Then we also have, what we specialize in is the personal training. And it's like more semi-fashion groups where you can have 1 to 4 people at one time.
Oh, nice.
But you'll be doing what you need to do specifically for you according to your fitness level and your fitness goals. So it's not a group setting where everybody doing the same thing for 30 seconds or a minute. Yeah. It's still that personal touch, just like more like it's like a team setting. Like when you have a coach, getting a team together, he's not just spending time with one player. You feel me? But make sure the team get the job done.
Absolutely. And that's why they break, I mean, even in teams, right? You break people up by position, that kind of stuff, and it's just a smaller group to work with, but there's still individual stuff that they're doing to try to accomplish, like you said, their goals, right? Everybody's body comp is going to be different and everything. So, well, I'm fired up to dive into that and everything that you do, but I want to learn a little bit more about you too, man. Where are you from? You from Baton Rouge? You grew up here?
So, no, I'm actually not from here. I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana.
Nice.
So it's a small town over there by Lafayette.
Yeah.
But I went to Northwest High. I actually came out here for school for Southern University.
Nice.
And I was in a band at Southern University.
Let's go. Yeah. That's pimp.
I played snare drum. Did all my 4 years there. My very last semester is when I dropped out and started to unfold into the fitness landscape.
Yeah. So didn't graduate?
No, I dropped out.
Wow, you went 4 years and then was like, no, I'm good.
I had 12 credits left to finish. And I do a major computer science public relations.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. So you had a badass major and you were just like, fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much. Because it wasn't for me. It's somewhat like having an upset stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't feel good. So I wasn't feeling good, like just being in that environment, sitting in a classroom, and then I had the pressure in the back of my head, like, if I get this degree, like, what I'm going to do? Like, do I truly want to do this? You feel me? So I just took that leap of, hey, I'm gonna call it quits and see what happens.
Yeah.
So
you can always go back too, right? Like, I mean, you got your whole life in front of you. If you want to go get 12 credits, you can go bang that out in 3 months, 4 months, and you're straight. Yeah.
And I just made a promise to myself that if I sat out that semester, I was gonna make more of me sitting out that semester than what I would have made within a classroom.
Nice. So yeah, I like it. And then everything, and so that you were what, 21, 22 at that time?
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
Right now, 33.
So that was 11. Damn.
Right,
so didn't have to go back to school.
Right.
So we made it work. That's good.
Yeah, made it work.
Talk to me about that leap, bro. I mean, like, right? That's one of the scariest things for people is like school is what you're taught. And if you do this right, you're going to get this job. Right. That's got to be a scary moment. You're 22 years old and you're like, or whatever, 21, you're like, yeah, here we go.
Man, it is scary because you have all your loved ones around you. They're preaching that to you. And the thing is, that is the safe route. That's what they know that works. And they're not going to tell you something that's going to fail. And if they haven't tried it, they can't lead you a different route.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it was go to school, get a good job, get married, have kids,
right?
Live on, right? But it just didn't sit right with me. And I had 2 older sisters. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
But both of them went to school and they finished. So when I did come up to the conclusion where, hey, I'm not going back, it was a problem.
I bet. Yeah.
It was a big problem.
I saw your mom is big in your life. Was she was she a big influence of that?
Oh, yeah.
What is it with moms and education, bro? I played ball and she was like, you're going back to school. You're going to finish your degree. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, moms are so crazy about that.
It's because they just want the best for us. So it's like, they're not telling us anything that's going to hurt us, but they just want the best. And she seen both of my sisters. They both doing good. They went to school. They finished. So she's like, no, you're in school. You're going to finish school. Because, like, honestly, I didn't have a plan to give her that, okay, I'm not going to go to school and I'm going to do this. Yeah. I didn't have that plan. I just know it didn't feel right. And I was going to trust what flowed and what went, what came with it after that.
Yeah.
Because I was, at that point, I put myself in a position where it became me against me. And the only thing I was left with, I had to prove to myself I made the right decision.
I love it.
Like, you feel me?
You're only accountable to yourself in that moment.
And by any means. Yeah. So it's like, I just put my feet to the pavement and just got to work. And it's not that I was just working on one thing. I just started doing so many things. I was throwing so much at the wall to something stuck. And once it stuck, hey, I ran with it.
Bro, that's the way life goes too. So like, I mean, that's it's trial and error, right? But I think so many people get so fixated on fear or get caught up in it, right? And it might not feel like fear, but it's just like you said, that unknown is what people don't fuck with. You know, it's like, this is what I know. I know if I go to school, I'll do this, do that, right? So, I mean, that's pretty impressive too. So you didn't know what you were gonna do, didn't have a plan, you just did it, but believed in yourself. I think that's a testament to you too as a person, right? Because that's the ultimate bet on yourself. You're like, I don't even really have an answer. I just know it's going to work because I know me and I know I'm going to work and figure something out.
And that's one thing I consider that. That's one thing I could consider as one of my, what I would call my superpowers, right? Yeah. Is that I'm great at manifesting stuff into my life. And secondly, whenever I do choose to do something, I'm going to do it above average. Like every time. Like, I'm going to do it above average. Yeah. And that's why when it comes down to all bets being on me, I don't care what environment you put me in, what's my situation, I can make the most out of it, and I will. Like, even with all the obstacles and everything that popped up along the way, instead of just running into a wall, turning around and be like, oh, let me go back to what I know to be safe. Nah, I'm either going to figure out how to go around it, through it, or over it, you feel me?
I love it.
So it's like, it's that mentality of having that, hey, regardless of what happened, I got to make this happen. My plan B was to make sure my plan A worked.
I love that.
Hey, for sure.
I love that. No, that's so for real. And like, I mean, I told you, like, even when you got in here, I'm like, dude, this place has taken so many forms in 4 years, but it's like, this is my baby. I'm in it. I've committed to it, and I'm gonna make it work no matter what. And I got great people around me now, and like we're doing great things, and it's getting there, right? But that whole journey is like, there's no answers. There's no playbook. You know, like
none at all.
So, how did you? So. What's your? I'm assuming there's some sort of sports. Did you play sports growing up? That kind of stuff, fitness.
So all during high school, I did baseball all through high school. Did basketball, cross country, track.
Nice.
The only sport I didn't play was football because I didn't get a growth spurt until I got out of high school. And like, I'm still small now, but I was super small.
Really?
In high school. Man, I was tiny.
Well, that's crazy. Everybody grows at different times.
So. I was always in the band, and I was very good on a snare drum. So I came to Southern to play snare drum.
You get a scholarship for that? Do they give scholarship? I don't know how that. I know they do, right?
At that point in time, they do have scholarships, but your in-state folks will be the last ones to get the scholarships.
Gotcha.
You feel me? Yeah. And the way that I went into it, I decided that I was gonna go late.
Gotcha. So I already had the roster. You literally just had to go perform and be like, I'm good enough to be on this or whatever. Yeah. Wow. Oh, man. All right. So drop out of school, senior year. What's the first thing that you do? Like, what's the action step now?
And hey, That's hard to think about.
There's probably a chill time of like, all right, let
Yeah.
me figure this out, I guess.
Yeah,
but-
after dropping out, I was just like, okay, let me figure out what is it that I can do first,
Right.
and what exactly I need to be doing to make sure I can make whatever it is I choose to happen. And there was a point in my life where I got real heavy into self-development, where I'll be on YouTube, I'll be listening to podcasts, and I'm just trying to listen for whatever clue or whatever sign I could get through a podcast. They'd be like, okay, you're doing the right thing. Okay, keep going this way, you'll get there. Or maybe just some type of advice. They'd be like, you know what, let me try that.
Yeah.
And it is this one saying that I came across that stuck with me, which is be, do, have. And what it says is that regardless of what it is you have, if you want something more, you first have to be. You have to become the person that's able to do the thing to get the results that you want in order for you to have it.
I like it.
So it's be, do, have.
You have.
So-
I love that.
You first have to become the person
Yeah.
that you need to be to do the thing that need to be done.
And
To
then you
have
can
the
what you
results.
want.
Yeah.
Holy
So,
shit, I love that. You do have. Who you know who said it or who you listened to in the beginning that was pretty
Myron
influential?
Golden.
Okay, nice.
Myron
Yeah,
Golden,
yeah.
yeah. And that stuck with me. And then another quote that stuck with me heavy was, do more today than you did yesterday, or end up with exactly what you had at the end of today or what you had tomorrow. I mean, do more today than you did yesterday, or end up with exactly what you had at the end of the day yesterday. So I mean, as long as you do a little bit more every day, you'll end up with more than what you had. But if you do nothing, you'll end up with the exact same results.
You heard of
So-
that Japanese Kaizen? You've heard of that word? It basically means so there's a Japanese like culture thing that is, if you're getting 1% better every day, you're exponentially getting better throughout life.
yeah.
And that like Kaizen kind of like means that or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of like the same thing is, what can you do today to just get 1% better? Just
Right.
get 1% better. And then that's just compounding over time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially, it's just like a bank account. Towards the goal, or whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you deposit into, that's what's going to come out in the end. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
same thing with weight loss.
Yeah. So fitness, how did it start? What was the first thing where you were like, ooh, all right, this is it. I'm good at it. I can do this. Like,
All right. So fitness, it stemmed from always had to be doing something. So like I said, I was in the band, I was playing snare drum, and it's a very technical instrument where you're always learning new things and you're always able to mix up and make things more hard.
Yeah.
So after I got the band, a new hobby, I picked up boxing, and boxing led me into the fitness world, to where I fell in love with the fitness aspect, and it just started unfolding from there.
Yeah.
Like, I started working out more. I'd be in the gym just doing workouts, but with the fact that I get bored fast, I would get real creative with my workouts, so it started drawing attention to me.
Yeah.
And that was when Instagram was first hitting the scene.
Yep.
So I was already just constantly posting on there, like just videos of me working out, doing crazy stuff, I guess you would call it. And then through there, like with me being in the gym, I would go every day to the gym, like consistently, like every day. People just started asking me, hey man, I could work out with you. Yeah, I could work out with you. Because I came a long way. Like I got strong real fast, but still keeping a slim aesthetic.
Yeah.
And with me also posting is when I started getting a lot of attention from like different celebrities through Instagram, where they'll DM me, hey, want to fly out here? Let's get it in. So, and then I was like, like
there's really
something could come
here.
from this. All right. And like, it was coming quick. Because at first I was just letting people work out with me. I'm like, cool, I'm being here anyway, just come on.
Yeah, come on.
Like, you feel me? And then over time I started to educate myself about what it was I was actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say, I was definitely better at marketing before
you were in
becoming the technician of what it was I was doing. You feel me?
Yeah.
So,
But it's just like anything else, right? You got to be in that world to really become an expert in it, right? You're not just gonna wake up one day and be like, I read a book and now I know, you know?
Right.
You got to go live that life too and be like, no, motherfucker, I've worked out, I've done this push-up this way, and now I felt this and I've lived it through experience, right? So, I mean, that makes sense. But the marketing to me is genius. And I guess too, like, I think what I'm picking up too, just from sitting with you is, bro, you're fearless, like in a good way, like in a way that's helped you succeed in life. And and again, right, that's the value that I try to provide to people that are listening is what I'm hearing is you had a calling to go do something and you weren't scared to go do it, and you did it. You didn't know where it was going, you just did it. Even the social media, right? When social media first came out, people were like scared to post because they didn't know how to post. They didn't know what it was going to be taken as, right? And you were like, fucking, I'm putting it out there. This is what I'm just doing.
Posting. Yeah.
And then that opened up doors for you. And that's why I always say to people, I do my podcast, one, because I literally am going to take information that you've taught me today, which is awesome. One, I'm learning and growing from good people and shit like that. But just that ability to relay that to people and share that story, I think is really, really powerful too. And we're just fucking learning through your experiences too. And that's the cool part, is helping people push through fear to be able to have an opportunity to do things that you're doing or what they want to do and that kind of stuff. So it's fucking dope.
That's one thing, like I appreciate clients and also people around me. Like that's one thing, like anybody I keep around me or have around me, I'm going to push them to be great, or more than they're going to leave from me. They're going to leave from around me better than what they came, I promise.
I like it, yeah.
And because you're going to learn something, I'm going to learn something from you that I'm going to help make you better. But at the same time, I just want to see everybody become great. Like, it's good, then that's great. Absolutely. And I always had this saying that I always tell my clients, say, hey, that's good, that's great, then that's Nard. You feel me? Like,
I love it, yeah.
Good, you could choose to do good, that's average. Then you could be great, that's right above average. But you want to go to the next level, hey, put your name above great, you feel me?
Absolutely.
And that's what you strive for every time. And even if you fall short, cool, you better than average.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But that's a mindset, man. That's like, that's literally, and you have to wake up every day with that mindset. And what you're saying is, you're like, I instill this in my people. We do this. This is how we live. It's a lifestyle, you know, like, but that's kind of the same thing that I do here, right? Like, this is a very creative space. I push people to try to be like, yo, just stay in this lane here, but like, go be creative, go do this, but challenge. And like, I hold people to a standard because I know they're capable of it, right? And I think sometimes too, even fitness to me taught me this experience, right? And especially baseball and the things that I did playing ball, is when you set your mind to something, there's even a level above that probably that you don't even know sometimes, right? That is possible. And that's kind of what you're doing with your people.
Exactly.
And I feel like fitness is a big feeling.
Yeah.
There, right?
Fitness is major, because you'll see people come in looking for a physical change, but what they leave with, the biggest thing they leave with is a mental change. Because once they start breaking barriers with their body that they wasn't breaking before, or let's say they did come from a sports background or something like that, man, that changed your mentality mentally. Absolutely. Like, they start feeling invincible, that they could do anything as they should. Yeah. And it's like the saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So fitness, you apply those same principles to anything that you do. You don't just go in the gym one day and then all of a sudden the results happen.
Exactly. You
don't just start a career and all of a sudden you CEO. You feel me? You don't just start trying to learn a hobby and all of a sudden you're great at it. Like, everything is putting in the work every day towards one specific goal. And you only get there by doing that, by staying in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing to actually make it happen. Yeah. So,
no, I love that. Talk to me more about that. Like, is that something that is part of your actual, I don't want to say class, but like experience when they come work out with you? Is like, hey, we're cerebrally doing this too. Like, I'm gonna push you. Or is it just like happen through the workouts organically?
So the way my style is, I'm a very laid back type of coach. I'm not no drill sergeant in your face type thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more laid back. Like, I'll go ahead and I'll throw something out there, and like, I'm gonna ask in a calm way. Like, they be like, dang, do I have to do that much weight? Be like, nah, you ain't gotta do it. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, there's people every day choosing not to do stuff. I mean, the average person wouldn't. Yeah. So I mean, but you don't have to. I mean, you average. I mean,
yeah, you just put it in their court. It's accountability. Right.
What you want to choose to do today?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how you going to choose to be?
You showed up here. Do you want to lift? It's up to you. No, I'm not going to force you to lift, but you're here.
It being a way, they know what I'm getting at, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, I'll give you a choice. You either choose good, choose great. Like, choose great every time, at least. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So like, you don't have to do anything. Hey, but the fact that you're choosing to do more, or choosing to do what it is you said you're gonna do, hey, that's good enough.
And that, I mean, every great thing in the world too is a choice, right? That's what. Right. And I tell everybody this too, even here, right? It's a choice how you show up every day. What mindset you're in when you walk in the building. What kind of energy you want to show to your coworkers, to the customers, to everything, right? Like, it's all a choice, and that's what I love. That you're just like, you don't have to. No, you don't have to do 8 reps. No.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You want to be average. I love that. I love that.
I'm very laid back though.
Yeah, but you're also through that organically teaching them accountability. Right. And you're teaching them a mindset. You're like, it's the Mr. Miyagi thing, right? You're like, you're teaching them while you're doing it, and you're like, you're creating this thought process for them almost.
Right.
It's gonna help them in life too.
See, and I'm big on psychology, so I know how to indirectly get to their subconscious. Next time they go to even say what they didn't want to do the first time, they won't bring it up because they're like, I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let me just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like, I don't want that sarcastic comment right now too. Yeah, no, I love that. And I'm a gym owner too, but at 45 training, so it's a franchise. Okay. It was all in a playbook, right? And so that was my first real entrepreneurial journey. But the thought process there and what that community taught me was exactly what you're talking about, right? And I thought it was cool. I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in Jersey. Okay. So coming down to Louisiana was a big culture shock for me, the way that people ate and cared. Like they didn't care about the same things that people cared about in New Jersey. So when I opened up F45, I was like, oh, this is going to be really interesting to be able to like educate Louisiana people about nutrition, about what it does for your mind, your mental health, right? Your overall health, everything, your mindset. And just like watching people's transformation was the best part of like having that gym. Was like, I watched that person lose 30 pounds, but it's more there like, bro, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. every day. I'm so much more productive. Right. My wife likes me more. I'm like, wow, it's crazy how that goes all of a sudden, you know?
Right.
Like
they have more energy for their kids. They like, man, I've been having more energy at work, so they're able to work hard and get more done. I've seen people get promotions from just having more energy.
Quality of life.
Right, quality of life improved. Yeah. So, man, that's major.
Yeah. Well, so talk to me a little bit about the marketing. And you said you're better at the marketing, or you were in the beginning, right? You've learned the technical side of things through experience and you've gotten to that point. But did you have a background in marketing, or you just kind of understood like how to put things out there?
What I studied the most while I was in school was psychology. Like it drew me to it. Like I love psychology because you're able to produce desired results. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like logic. Like 2 + 2 = 4 every time. Absolutely. But it's a lot of psychological factors where if you move a certain way, do a certain thing, people respond a certain way. And I always loved that. So I dove in, like when it came down to YouTube, on learning as much as I could about psychology and marketing psychology in general, how to choose your colors, how to choose your brand, like what fonts to use, like just everything. And like that's really my passion. Marketing and technology is my passion. And when it comes down to marketing, where I'm at now with my brand, I feel as though, yes, I built it up, but now it's to a point where I've been on the inside of it so long, there's certain things I could see for other people. I go walk inside their business and be like, oh, dang, I see so much opportunity, like what you could do with the marketing, to where I'll go right back to mine and be like, man, you didn't do this yet.
It gives you a different perspective about your own business. No, absolutely. I love that. And everybody that's listening, I want you all to listen to what this man just said, because you brushed over it because it's probably so natural to you now. But like people that are starting a brand or starting a business in today's world, the entrepreneurial world is changing a lot, right? You were saying you learned everything about what fonts to use, what colors to use. That is marketing, right? It's psychology of what people pay attention to, what they go to, what they're drawn to. And so I want people to pay attention to that. That's has something to do with a lot of your success, right? I'm sure.
Major. And I helped a lot of businesses and local companies around here with that also.
Do you? That's sick.
But a big breakdown that I do see that most people don't understand about marketing is that marketing isn't advertising. And
you said is not, right?
Isn't advertising, right? And you can have a logo, but you cannot have a brand. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Most people think once you have a logo, you have a brand. You have a business, but you cannot have a brand. Mm-hmm.
There's a difference.
All separate. You feel me? You can have a business and not have a brand by, if I ask you what it is your business do, if you can't tell me all in one line, you don't really have, have that one slogan to where, bam, all right, this is what I do, this is how we do it, so we can help you accomplish.
Yep.
And then in order to get to that brand state, people have to be able to see your business, whether it's through a color, through the logo, and already know what comes with it.
Yep.
Meaning, I know what type of people go there.
Yes.
I know what type of energy it seems to have. Like,
you can go to your Instagram page and I could just scroll. I don't have to click on a button. I don't have to do anything. I can scroll on your Instagram page and I know immediately just by watching exactly what you're about, or have an idea about what you're about, what you sell, what you do. And that's branding. Like that is literally, right?
And that comes out of, so one of the books I was majoring on is Seth Godin. So this Seth Godin, and he has a marketing book, and what it teaches you is that it taught me this early on before social media, of how to build like a viable audience. Like it was like, cool, social media, you have millions of people on there, right? But you have to talk to a direct group of people to get the biggest results.
Yeah.
To where if you treat social media like a river, like an ocean, and you have, let's say, a cup of dye, you throw that cup of dye into the ocean, it won't turn the ocean red. But you throw that same red cup of dye into a pool, it'll turn that pool red.
Yeah.
So you have to really niche down and speak to a small group of people for the product that you're trying to sell, other than trying to reach out and be for everybody.
Absolutely.
So
no, and to me, the psychology part of it is what's so interesting, because like I feel like you and I would nerd out on that all day. I read psychology books. It's actually what got me into business. Like I love psychology, even when I played ball, right? Like I was always big on the cerebral side of the game. I love like the pitching, like cat and mouse game, like I'm outsmarting you type shit, you know? And I don't know, like I just always was drawn to the brain and the mind. And like I always felt like if my brain was good and my mind was good, then my performance was going to be good, because then I can push harder, I can have clarity and push through, you know, hard times and that kind of shit, right? And go through adversity. So the psychology is actually what got me into business. I was reading a book, it's called Talk Like TED, and it's all about why TED Talks are 12 minutes. And it's all about the attention factor and keeping the human brain, and obviously things have probably changed since that book because social media changes, but what drew me to business was like, what makes people buy something in your store? Why did they come in my store? Why did they come back to my store? Right? Like, and if you can create and get ahead of that process, that's what marketing is really is, right? What does your customer want? What are they trying to get when they walk in your store? And how can you make them leave so they want to come back, right? So it was this, it was the psychology for me that I loved about business. Yes, I love making money, don't get me wrong, I love the hustle, like that's fucking awesome, but like I genuinely love the decision making process of like, why did you come in my shop? Why did you buy your cards here? Why did you stop here? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, I just always find that so fascinating.
I ask my clients like the same, like when they come in for a consultation, like what did you see that made you even choose to like give us a chance to be here? You know what I'm saying? I want to know like what journey they went through, like mentally, of well, it's like I've been seeing it for a while. Like, so what made you finally decide, like just to find those triggers? You know what I'm saying? So I could make and tailor more stuff towards those triggers.
Absolutely. You're just adding the Rolodex and getting more information. So you're like, oh, this type of person, this marketing worked for, and you're just making notes, right? Like in your brain. So no, I love this journey, man. Like learning about that. And something you said too, before we flipped on the cameras, you were like, yeah, I got that, what'd you say? YouTube education?
YouTube education, man.
YouTube University.
YouTube University, man. There's nothing you can't learn off of YouTube. Like, everything I ever wanted to know, I went straight to YouTube. And this was early on. I mean, I'm looking on YouTube every week on how to do something new, just because I can. But it was amazing. I'm like, man, it's free. Like, this is really education, because I'm learning and I'm applying. Like, I'm getting it done. So I taught myself everything from videography to photography to web design, app design. Like, I was doing some programming before I even came here. I'm building a server. Well, it's web design, app design. And right now what I've been heavy on is just automating everything, like how to automate everything within the business, and working more on like the developer side with AI. Because AI is something big right now into business, and honestly, if you're not using it, you're going to get left behind, because you're not going to be able to keep up with the efficiency of AI. So I'm majoring it, and I've been trying to see the best practices and best ways to apply for accountability, for just client retention, and also for the client experience. So I've been trying to see how to implement and integrate it into everything.
Y'all hear that? Like, all his Instagram and website is all going to be in the show notes. If you go, that's crazy to think, like looking at your shit, that it's all self-taught, that you learn everything through YouTube. People don't understand that. Again, I asked you, I was like, did you study film? Like, before, you're like, no, I learned it. That's amazing. But people don't, again, people just have in their mind, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's like, go give it a chance. Like, go learn. I promise you can. Just
type your question in, and now what's more powerful than YouTube is that you get a better explanation of how to do anything it is you want to do if you use ChatGPT, AI, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's getting crazy, like, of how accessible knowledge is. So for anyone to say, I don't know how to do this, or
means you're lazy.
I can't do it. It's like, yeah, you're lazy. You're not even putting the time to go find out how to do it.
There's literally a button. You press 3 buttons and you type it, and it's on your phone.
Exactly.
Like, you're lazy if you say,
there.
I don't know how to
step
do
by
something.
step.
Yeah,
right.
Literally, Google is the best thing in the world. So, yeah, no, it's and it blows my mind that people just put that wall up for themselves. Like, no one else is putting it there. Like, I promise you. And that's where, like, when you were like, I dropped out, I was like, I think that's fascinating. Is you got so far in school education, right? But it's like, nah, actually, I'm going to learn more on my own on YouTube, and I'm going to go make a very successful business on my own without this education. But I got a different one, and again, people don't know that, so or don't utilize it, I think, and everything. So.
Right, because I was in computer science, but I learned way more from YouTube than like actual things I could use practically in real life. Right. In school, we was learning stuff that was honestly outdated at that time. And YouTube, 100%. I'm learning stuff that I could apply right now and use today, like way faster.
And every second you're in that gym, or every second you're learning about something, you're actually doing something. Like the books, you're reading about something, and you're just like, oh, in the future I'll use this. In the future I'll use this. Like, that's not really learning. You got to learn by doing shit. Like, you know, like.
So it's another day in life I haven't used algebra.
Yeah, exactly, right? What the fuck? Like, I'm like, think about how much time you spend doing all that shit, and you're like, when am I ever going to use that? And we have all these phones with it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is.
It's crazy, man.
It's a crazy concept. Man, this is awesome. So I want to talk about, again, we talk about psychology, marketing, right? The world has changed, and I always say it's interesting to me to see successful businesses leverage certain moments in time, right? You talked about Instagram and social media becoming a thing, right? And that helped you, and you were just putting stuff out there. It was new. It's become a marketing tool now. But also, let's call a spade a spade. 10, 15 years ago, some of the videos that you're using on your social media, women weren't allowed to wear that. How crazy is that concept, right?
Yeah, facts.
Crazy concept. So now we have caught up appropriately, and women are allowed to represent themselves the way they should.
Yeah.
And that is an avenue of marketing for your business, right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing and genius. So talk to me about the realization of that, and if there was any kickback of the traditionalists being like, you can't put that out on social media or something like that. Did you face any of that?
I mean, yeah, at first. So when I was first getting into the gym business, I was told when I first got into the gym business, I was told a lot of how I'm supposed to market it, how I should market it, and what I'm supposed to be doing. I was actually told not to go the route I was going, because I was doing just like a personal training studio, but I said my specialty is in calisthenics. I had people around here like, man, you're not gonna get nowhere in no calisthenics. People want to be big, man. But I was always favoring towards the side of women. First thing a woman gonna tell you is, I want to work out, but I don't want to get butt. Yeah. Cool. I got you. Yeah. All right. I want to work out, but I don't want to lose weight in the wrong places. Cool. Right. I got you. So I made my specialty in that. And when it comes down to how other gyms and how other people are suggesting how to market the traditional way, it was outdated. Right. And one thing I believe heavily on is that if I'm a market like you across the street, who gonna see me? Like, what's different about that? If you don't stand out, you're getting looked over. Exactly. And that's not me. Yeah. Like, I got this. Like, I'm gonna do what I do. You're gonna notice me for the right thing or the wrong thing, but you're gonna notice me. You feel me?
It's all about attention, right?
And then I went through probably like 4 transitions of different logos, so like just experiment. But on everything, I mark up everything. I put my logo on everything.
Absolutely.
Like, so,
but the green too, just like, I think you've done such a good job of branding. The second because again, right, it's branding, it's attention. I'm scrolling through social media, and if I'm scrolling fast, right, that green catches your eye, I immediately know that's a girl working out at NardFit. Like literally, that's what you want, right? Because as a dude, I'm like, if I want to go work out, I'm like, oh, that's not bad scenery. Like, that's a good thing. And like, seems like everybody gets along, everybody's in shape, everybody's young, like, right? That's the spot you want to go, right? Or at least you're drawn to be curious about and walk in the door. So that's what we talk about in branding. I think is genius.
So I stuck to the way I was marketing, and then honestly, it's a lot of gyms I noticed like elsewhere that started marketing how I was marketing here. But being from a small town here, I was the only one doing what I was doing. I was the only person that had like a personal studio that wasn't franchise owned or a big box, and I was able to turn into what it is today. I mean, shit, being downtown right there, 3rd Street.
So I'm gonna let you go here in a couple minutes because I know you got a million things to do. But talk to me about that phase, right? So you start making social media, you start getting some clientele, you start doing some celebrity stuff. So I'm sure that's opening the door for you. How does it turn into a business and a studio and then a gym? Like, what are the steps to get to that point?
Working smarter, not harder.
I like it. Yeah.
Like I said, when I first started, I was training for free. I was like, I'll be here anyway. Come on, you can work out. After that, one of my friends suggested, hey, you should start training. And I said, okay, cool. I charge them $10.
Yeah.
So I started charging $10. Then I was like, okay, people willing to pay to train with me. And then I started building a lot of clientele then. And then what even nudged me towards opening a studio is I was about to go out one night and I was at the tattoo shop over there by Elfin Tattoo Shop, and it had an empty building next door. And one of my homeboys was just like, hey man, you always complaining about when it rains, like you can't work out or people can't train, because I had to start training in the park. Yeah. Because by that time I had already got kicked out of all the big box gyms for bringing people there trying to train them without being a trainer there. Yeah. So just taking it lightly, I wrote down the number to the building next door, put it in my pocket. The next day, I remember seeing the number pulling out, and something just told me, call it, check it out. Because I didn't even have enough money to get a studio at that time. But I said, let me just call her and see what she say. So after I called her, she was like she was very eager like to show me the building. She's like, hey, yes, we could let you see it tomorrow. And I'm like, how much is it? She's like, we'll take $800. Like, and I'm like, okay, it's doable. Yeah, like I don't have it right now, but I can make it. I can make it happen. Make that work. Yeah. And I'm like, cool. I'll meet up with you to check it out. So I went and walked through it. It was vacant for like 5 years before that. See, whoever had it before then had goats in the back and all of the kind of stuff. Like it was tore up, bro. Really? Like no walls, no ceilings. Like it was a dump. So I went and walked through it, and as I walked through it, I'm just like, okay, I can make this work. Being from the country and having a background of construction with my dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, man, we can make this work. So I got my dad to come out the next day to see it again. Like, how much work you think would have to go into it? And literally, as I got every dollar, I'm going to Lowe's and then bringing whatever I could bring back to add to
Oh my God.
I like brought my floors in like packs, like individual packs, man. No like, you know what I'm saying? My flooring.
Yeah.
As I was able to get it, like individual packs, man.
Holy shit. But that to me is like, I literally was like sitting here because again, I see the finished product, right? And I wasn't there in the beginning days, but that to me is same thing happened here. Like I have pictures in my phone here the day that I signed the lease, everything, because I was like, I'm taking the same thing, dude. And I love hearing those stories because you're like, I don't really have I'm going to figure it out though. Right. Like I'm going to find a way. So literally just started training people for money for like you
$10.
Also, that's the crazy part to me too. I have a lot of artists, a lot of creatives ask me, what should I charge people? I'm like, charge people low in the beginning. You guys do shit for free. That's part of it.
Hey, yeah.
And every time somebody is willing to pay you and then you just get too busy, that's when you start going up, right?
Yeah,
and
easily increase.
Yeah, that's crazy. You start at 10. See, people don't understand that. You start at $10 and that's what people don't understand now.
Yeah, and then I moved it from personal training because like I said, work smarter, not harder. Personal training, you have so many people you could train within a day. Right. Let's just say you have an 8-hour day. You only could train 8 people if you're training 8 hours straight. So before semi became a thing, all they had was like big group training. I started doing semi training before they had like came up with a name for it. I have people that say they wouldn't just show up wherever the other person show up. So I'm like, cool, let me just throw them together, see how it goes. Yeah. So I started semi training where now I kept my personal training prices at the personal training price. Yeah. No, I lied. I moved my personal training prices to semi prices and went up on personal training. Yeah. So now everybody
You're encouraging for the semi. Yeah.
They go with semi. Yeah. And it's where you could work 4 people now within that same hour. Mm-hmm. Depending on how many trainers, you could work even more.
Absolutely.
So it's working smarter, not harder. And that's when it really became a game changer for me.
That's awesome. Yeah. What about the $1.2 million facility? How does that work? So do you have investors? Is this something now I worked hard enough and made enough money that the bank is willing to give me a loan? Or is that something, hey, I made enough money, I'm going to fucking front this?
So with that was, the first studio burned down, right?
What?
Yeah, oh yeah. So my very first, the one I was working hard on.
No way.
It burned down.
The fuck? How?
So it caught on fire. Arsenal, somebody set it on fire. But they set the building next door on fire and it burned through the building.
Oh my God.
And then I searched and opened another location that's within Mid City now. That's the other studio.
That's the personal training one, more spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my transition spot was like a old lawyer office building where I trained people until I was able to find another building. But yeah, I lost everything. I had to rebuild from scratch.
Shit, man.
And then after reopening the studio in Mid City, I was presented with the opportunity to buy out the Cajun Fitness. It used to be a Cajun Fitness where I'm at.
Yeah.
And to go into that situation.
Nice.
But I was only presented with the opportunity by knowing the right people at the right time. They put me in a room with the right people to even be in that place, in that space to make that happen. And from there, it's just been all about now trying to figure out how to scale, how to grow, and how to box this up to where, you know, I could reopen in different locations.
Package it and franchise it.
Right,
so that's the end goal, is make multiple locations, have them throughout the country.
But I think what I like more is the studio. I like the studio setting best because it's just, it's different from your traditional going into the gym, working out with machines. Functional training, it gives you more of that, okay, we're going to really see what you got. Like,
absolutely.
Everything, like, full body wise.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's how you keep your body guessing, in my opinion, too. Like, that's working with somebody who's always challenging you, be in different positions, challenge your body, different muscles, and activate them different ways. Like, that to me is honestly the best workout. So, absolutely, man, that's sick. All right, so where's the first location? If you had a dream, where would your...
I'm going to go to Houston.
Love it.
Houston, man. I love Houston.
Okay.
It'll be Houston. I'll do a studio first, and if I do an Elite, it'll be in the downtown area.
Let's go, baby. I love it. Speaking into existence, manifesting.
Oh, yeah, man.
Dude, this is... I feel like we could... I don't even know how much time we've been on here, but I feel like we could talk for hours, man. This is... And again, I appreciate somebody that I see from a distance that a lot of people that, and I think, right, there's one thing to be like, man, everybody works out over there and I just see people, but like, they're people that I know and people that I fuck with and people that I respect, and they all go in there and they're all saying good stuff about you, about your programs, your training, all that stuff. So again, this has been a long time coming. Trinity made it happen, but I feel like these kinds of conversations are so, I think, important for the community, one, right, to let people know about what you're doing, the type of person you are, and your growth vision, which is really cool, man. And again, I appreciate the time because I know how much time you put into your brand and everything you do. So yeah, this was awesome for me, and I feel like, man, like seriously, I'm gonna continue to follow your journey. I'm gonna definitely come to the gym, work out a little bit with you.
Definitely have to, man.
Yeah, I know. I got to get a Nard workout in. I need the little passive aggressive lines. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm like, fuck, let's go. But no, yeah, man, this has been awesome. And again, I appreciate these journeys. We'll catch up maybe like a year when you got your location in Houston, or whenever you're franchising and stuff. But it'll be fun to kind of document this and follow along with the journey because, bro, like, you have the mindset, you got everything, and it's been, again, fun to watch from a distance, fun to get to know you a little bit for 30-40 minutes or whatever, but hopefully this turns into a good relationship going forward. Man, I appreciate the time, man. This was awesome.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Anything else you want to leave listeners with before we go?
It's for my business owners or inspiring business owners, like you said earlier, anything you do, make sure you love it, because only if you love it, you're going to be willing to do it for free. And it's a giving game. You're going to give way more than you ever receive. But the more you give, the more you will receive. So, hey, find something you love, stick to it, and, hey, do it with everything in you.
Amen. I mean, that's literally I love that, man. Give and take, that's the best, is like you give without expecting anything back, right? And that's when the best things open up for you. And man, that's awesome. Like, this is, again, I feel like I could nerd out. I can't see you, Trinity, but I'm like, I want to keep. What time? How much time are we at? All right, that's what I felt like. I was like, bro, we could have talked for another hour, but thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll make sure I put everything in the show notes so everybody can follow all your pages and everything. Okay. And you do any like promos? Like, I know at F45 we do like week free classes or a trial or something like that. Do you do anything along those lines?
So we have day passes.
Okay.
Right now we have 0 initiation fee.
Nice.
So registration fee is free.
Cool. I just was like, if you had any promos or whatever for people just to get in there and go try your gym and everything. So.
Okay. Well, I'll do one now.
Let's go.
So I'll leave a promo code where you can put at the bottom of this video. So if you watch this video, you get a promo code.
Hell yeah.
You'll be able to get a free day trial at the 24-hour gym downtown.
Boom. Let's go.
Valid until what's today's date? October what?
7th. Do it for.
We'll go for the rest of this month.
Whoa!
For the rest of the month. We'll go to
shit.
month. Hey,
okay,
then
let's go.
Hey,
let's go. I'll put a social
pass.
post out there too, and I'll throw that in there.
All
Whatever promo code you put out there, I'll put it in there too. That'll be cool.
All right, cool. 1 free day pass.
Let's go.
I'll give you the promo code.
No, I appreciate you, man. This was dope. Looking forward to catching up again after in Houston.
Yeah,